Hey guys, Green Corsair here with a new guide for the 3.28 Mirage expansion for Path of Exile 1. I will probably play an Omniscience Static Strike character as we got massive buffs for Static Strike, and I have played Static Strike quite a bit for the past leagues. Now I can show you some old Static Strike game. I did not play Static Strike for 3.27, but I did for 3.26 with the Elementalist buffs. And I also played it for 3.25. That's when I got into the Static Strike gaming. Now this one was low life, the Elementalist was CI, and this time I will probably do a life-based Scion. Before this though, I will show you some gameplay, just so you know it does do the things well. This is my 3.26 character, and it's also made for Delve. Uh, by ma by made for Delve, I mean like it can get up to maybe 500 depth if we min-max it. Like, if you min-max it a lot, it will probably go deeper, but I will not, I'm not into that. I'm fine with doing 300 depth delve. Now this character is a lot different than what I'll show you, but just to have some gameplay in the footage, so people don't say this guy is no gameplay, only POB warrior. The DPS on my Omni character will be higher, like maybe 30% higher. So what you're seeing here is basically worse than the Omni character. Oh, got one shot. That's that character was better before they nerfed the golem node. Yeah, so that's the gameplay footage. It's not even going to be the same character, so should be fine. Yeah, so some basic stuff for Static Strike. First, I wanna say that Static Strike is a great clearing skill, but it has a lot of quality of life stuff to be fixed. So basically we get this skill effect duration nodes here. So we have more duration, we get even more in the new patch, which is not on POB yet. We also need to get like a mini ancestral strike from somewhere, because otherwise it feels like shit to play. You can get it from this wheel here, which I will probably respec along the line. And maybe get it from the gloves or maybe some other source. There's an enchant on the gloves, which I usually get with these types of builds. But here I have not opted for that. The POB is not too optimized. Like the gear is pretty good, but you can probably get some other source of scaling or whatever, or just some more enchants on the gear. Yeah, the character was supposed to be using the ascendancy, the Reliquarian ascendancy. So we get the brass dome, and the idea was that I pair it with Astra Mentis for like 180 O attributes. Little did I know that this didn't work like I wanted it to. So it only gives us 60 omniscience instead of 180. Or at least that's what it would give if it was on gear. I have used this brass dome to simulate the ascendancy. but it probably works the same way from the sentences, so it's just 60. Basically, it's like 60 strength from our ascendancy, which is not that good. So the Uberlap will be probably will be changed to maybe some bloodline or whatever you like. But yeah, so other quality of life stuff that we need to fix is basically movement speed, because when you how static strike works is you get you hit once, and then for the next few seconds you have this buff that strikes shit around you. Whereas the duration currently is about 5 seconds. It will be buffed by probably like a second in the new patch. So it will be like 6 seconds, uh, in which you have this huge clear, which is the beams that strike every quarter of a second. Yeah, with 20 quality, of course. The quality is huge for the beam frequency. Um, so first of all, let me talk about how you calculate the DPS of static strike, because that is quite different than anything else I've seen. We use shockwave support. We also got a +1 shockwave charge from the new essence, from the new Mirage essence. So that's a nice buff as well. And basically, static strike has 3 parts, with the shockwave being one of them. Then we have the static strike, which has the beams and the melee hit. So on a single target boss, like Maven or whatever, you have all 3 parts hitting simultaneously. So we have the melee hit, which is 741k, the beams, which is almost a million, and the shockwave, which is like 500,000. So we basically get like 2 mil DPS on single target. And for clear, we obviously get only the beams and the shockwave, which is good enough. Yeah, we go for stuff, for an elemental stuff here. You can also get um, a physical stuff. This is pretty much a template. Whatever good stuff you get, you can use. But you don't need to have the attack speed roll. Obviously, the static strike, it it doesn't need attack speed because of the beams. The beams are fixed on frequency. Uh, but you do need like a bit of attack speed to make it feel well. I usually get on my boots the I forget where it's the veiled modifier, which gives movement speed and onslaught on kill. So that usually fixes the attack speed and move speed problems, the onslaught. But we'll see where we can get onslaught from on this character. There are a few ways, obviously. And yeah, the gear itself is just some stats for the Omniscience, and the Brass Dome, obviously, for a lot of survivability. Um, we get this wheel for Fortify, which is which means we don't have to use the cluster jewel with the very rare cluster mode for Fortify on staffs. I used the impossible escape to save some points here on the accuracy and get some more maximum resists. Uh, the the accuracy is a huge problem for this character, obviously, because we stay on this side of the tree. Uh, the new accuracy nodes are here and here, which we might use for leveling, but this one is probably better. And we get Jug for can't be stunned, can't be shield, and endurance charges, and a lot of accuracy, which is great from the Forbidden Flesh and Flame. A nice, interesting tech that I found this patch for the first time is this wheel here for the fire damage. Obviously, we have the 100% increased damage with hits against ignited enemies, which is a great buff for damage. And I usually use it on most builds I can fit it in. But this wheel here, we have 30% chance to ignite, which is basically enough to get us through, to get every enemy. And we have this node here, which is recover 2% of life when you ignite a non-ignited enemy, which is a great sustain as well. So this wheel here is, I think will carry a lot. And obviously we need a bit of fire damage on the staff or whatever, on the rings or whatever, to ignite. But the ignite is not the main part. The main part is the recovery and the 100% increased damage. We go blood magic, so to not worry about mana. We have a bunch of charges. Staffs are very comfortable to play because we get 40-40 block. We also have a bunch of accuracy here and a lot of crit chance from the staff nodes. A few of the problems are solved by this little pride here, which gives us leech. You can get leech in a bunch of places, but this leech here is probably the one you aim for in late game, after you can get a nice little pride, day 4 or 5. And we get intimidate from this here. You can also get intimidate from this rage nodes here. And we also get 5% increased strength in divine judgment, which I have anointed, which is basically 5% increased omniscience. And yeah, also we get a lot of strength from the little pride, so we always use a nice little pride. At some point, maybe it's better to place it here, and if we even we can maybe even get these nodes here for a bit of a buff, but we'll see. Whichever one you get a better one of. Yeah. I don't think. I guess we can go over the gems. The gems, we basically get a nice bunch of damage from the emulate, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward stuff. Assassin mark on hit because I'm lazy. If you're not lazy, you can gain a bunch of damage. Rat on Eternal Blessing because we are blood magic, and we go precision on our life, so we lose 100 life. But you can also de-level it if you don't need the accuracy or the damage or the crit chance is what I meant. Intimidating Cry for a bunch of damage if you want it. It's snapshots, so any temporary buff snapshots on the beams. So if you attack with Intimidating Cry on, all of the beams for the next 5 or 6 seconds will use the Intimidating Cry damage buff. Stone Golem for a bunch of defenses and life regen, because I hate playing without life regen. And Molten Shell, obviously we have the brass dome thingy for a bunch of armor. Uh, it's not that much of an armor buff, but it's still like quite a bit. And with the new cooldown reduction support, we'll get a lot of uptime on the Molten Shell. Otherwise, we use all three types of charges: power charges, frenzy charges, and endurance charges. We get frenzy charges from the Termin Assist ascendancy node, which is great for this because it also gives us 10% increased move speed, which we do love. We get 45 for a bunch of damage reduction. We get rage, and damn, I forgot to click some more damage. The enemy is ignited. I showed you the cluster. The enemy is shocked. Obviously, we have a bunch of damage, or just I have this shock here only for this node here, which gives us 5% more damage against shocked enemies. And this master here, which gives us 15% chance to treat resistances as inverted, which is great against those enemies with a lot of resistances, which we cannot kill. And the intimidate from the timeless jewel. So yeah, the build will be good, probably. I will iterate on it as I go, but it looks very promising, and I'll probably start with it for the next league. I have not decided 100%. I have another build which I might try, which is Void Sphere of Rending, and I will do a video on it later. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice league start.